And now, the general weather around Alaska.
And up first, we'll look at the hazardous weather graphic, and there's still a flood watch out for the northern panhandle here for possible flooding until 10 p.m. tomorrow evening. And again, possible flooding in this area if enough rainfall should come down in the areas there. And from there, looking at the fire danger graphic here, a little bit of high to extreme fire danger along the lee side of the eastern Alaska range, and then some spotty areas of high fire danger to the north of that area. Otherwise, nothing but blue here across the remainder of the state. And from there, looking at satellite imagery, low pressure here actually pulling in to the southeast coast, or into the southwest interior here, pushing a front in and north over the area, and also into the panhandle today. On the chart, you can see that front pushing eastward here to spreading rain, and mainly over the northern areas had the heaviest rainfall amounts today, with rain back along the North Gulf Coast, and rain starting to become a little more showery here for Cook Inlet, but still falling moderate rain in the Susitna Valley at mid-afternoon, Talkeetna, for example. And on up into the interior, this front pushing some light rain in across the Yukon Flats, into the Brooks Range, and actually all the way out to the Arctic coast. Another band of showers poised to move into southern Cook Inlet currently, and that bringing some light precipitation to the Alaska Peninsula. Otherwise, out west, nothing of any significance, just a lot of dead areas out there. A couple of weak lows, one in the Russian Far East, another one south of the Aleutians. So looking at light winds, some clearing, especially sunshine for the eastern Aleutians today, back up into the southern Bering Sea there, but a lot of clouds for Adak and Atka, as well as the Pribilof Islands, a few breaks there south of Nunivak Island. And for tonight, nothing much changes out in that area there. Light winds, dry conditions continue. Very weak disturbance may bring some light rain, fog, and drizzle. IFR to the Adak-Atka area, and this low weakening over the Yukon Delta keeps rain and cool temperatures going there, with showers along this trough swinging into Cook Inlet tonight and into the western Kenai Peninsula. This front breaking up as it pushes across the Brooks Range, but should hold together enough to bring a band of light rain for the Arctic coast onto the west there into the Chukchi Sea, and showers along this portion of the front over toward the eastern border. Very weak low now along the North Gulf Coast, and light rain will continue here for the eastern North Gulf Coast into the Panhandle to continue south to north flow here. This frontal boundary not moving a whole lot there, and so the southern areas will stay drier than it will be to the north. And for Monday, kind of the front redevelops a little bit there, a band of rain all across the southeast coast, back to about Yakutat, and then tapering off there around Cordova. Looking at mostly cloudy and showery conditions, and continued pretty cool temperatures for this time of year over the central interior on down into the North Gulf Coast. Wetter, cooler conditions continue over the west side of the state. Weak low over the Yukon Delta. Light rain and showers from the Kobuk Valley and the western Brooks Range all the way down into Bristol Bay, but drier along the southwest coast. Just some scattered showers there. And then the Bering Sea, no change. Dry conditions, light winds, and that continues into Tuesday as well, as high pressure now develops west of the Pribilof Islands there, keeping the entire Bering Sea and even the Aleutians here dry, with some clearing again. Couple of nice days for the eastern Aleutians. Could see some sun breaks maybe for the Pribilof Islands in the afternoon. Otherwise, look for a lot of low clouds and fog over the Bering Sea with this type of pattern, and some drizzle, light rain possible over the central Aleutians with a weak thing out there. Otherwise, low pressure continues, keeping temperatures cool and conditions damp, although driest conditions, warmest temperatures here up over the Yukon Flats toward the border. Again, lower to mid-70s, possibly for Fort Yukon down toward Eagle, Northway-Tok, and in the upper 60s for the Tanana Valley. Otherwise, looking at 50s to near 60. Not too bad. Well, actually, for middle of July, that's terrible temperature-wise here across southern Alaska. And isolated showers for Kodiak Island, but again, rain here from Cook Inlet, North Gulf Coast, as that slow-moving, actually hardly moving at all front keeps it wet over the Panhandle for the next couple of days. And for the lows down that way tonight, in the 50s, otherwise 40s in the interior, except 30s for the Arctic coast. And highs tomorrow, lower to mid 50s for the Bering Sea, lower 40s St. Lawrence Island, edging above 50 here for the southwest interior. And again, 70s, Yukon Flats toward Eagle, right down toward Northway and Tok, upper 60s for the Tanana Valley, and highs upper 50s and near 60s south central Alaska, and 50s and lower 60s for the southeast coast. And the lows on Tuesday morning, 30s for the Arctic coast, otherwise again 40s over the interior. Some areas staying in the lower 50s, like around Anchorage possibly, Yakutat, well into the 50s for the Panhandle, 40s out to the west. And for highs, not much different on Tuesday, still upper 60s and lower 70s for much of the central and east side. A little bit warmer there in the north slope, could see some upper 60s to near 70 degree readings, otherwise out toward the coastline, continued cooler conditions, upper 30s to lower 50s. Southeast coast, not much change, upper 50s to lower 60s for the highs, and near 60 for south central Alaska.